Well, good afternoon. I'm Bill,
I'm Dan.
and here we are again at our community corner. You know, this is, we put these podcasts out just to get some information out there about things going on, especially what's going on in our HOA, you know, the Hootersville HOA. So,
Yep.
and
We love it known as that.
you got comments or suggestions,
Yep.
and those comments can be either way, whatever you decide. You can see our email address is up there, hoacommunityliving@gmail.com.
Yep.
Please send us an email. Love to hear from you all. So Dan, why don't you read our disclaimer today?
Disclaimer. Oh boy, this is a goodie. This product is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice, especially if you're going outside the boundaries of Hootersville. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, or any liability that may arise from the use of this product. This podcast, we'll make it that. This podcast is not intended to replace any professional advice for you, and the views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or management. Sorry, Bill, if it doesn't agree with you.
Thanks, Dan.
No
Appreciate it. You know, now, we have to always got to cover the legal stuff. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, some people mentioned that to me in feedback that I saw,
Yeah.
where some of the comments we made were not like legal, or we shouldn't be giving legal advice. I don't think we gave any legal advice.
No, we don't give legal advice on
Not
this
at all.
podcast, not at all. This is our own opinion, remember that.
That's right.
You know, and we do a lot of research to make sure what we're talking about is correct. But, you know, again, I'll say it, Dan, nobody's perfect. So if you pick up on something, send us an email and let us know.
I've got a few emails right here that for people that wrote to the HOA Community Living Gmail, and I saw feedback from people on one of the message boards or social media things, something like that, asking why I would say anonymously. You know, like if let's say it was Bill that wrote this, I'm like, well, maybe not everybody would want. Bill may not want everybody to know it was him. And some of these people that wrote, the number one thing they thought was wrong here in our own community was the management company. You know, because, they complain about this, that, the other thing, it never gets resolved unless it's the right person complaining about it. And they thought the management company and some of the board members really drew attention to being negative from these particular people that gave me that feedback. I was like, oh boy. I would never tell who you are, as you said, or as I said, privately. So,
But,
these are the ones that we're talking about right here, Phil.
yeah, I see that.
You know, they wrote about that, air conditioners, the management company. It's like, yeah.
Like they said, they don't like the response from the front office when we report problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's been problems reported. I'm sorry, Dan. Let me just get this out.
Oh, yeah.
We have a North Clubhouse, and it's got probably 6 AC systems in it. You know, and it splits the clubhouse up. One of them does the pool room, and I think it also does the kitchen, but I'm not positive.
Right.
And I personally reported that a number of months ago. I was told there's nothing wrong with it.
Is that your half-eaten cookie?
Yes, it
you
is.
better not leave it there too long. Slide one of those.
Have another one, okay?
Thanks. I'll try not to talk while I'm eating.
That's what happens when you put cookies out when Dan comes over.
Yeah, cookies or Tootsie Rolls, sorry.
You know, this fella writes in that, he's reported at work, and they were told it was in working order. Well, you go down there, and there's no air conditioning on.
I heard from that one a few times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, who's checking this stuff? Yeah. We pay a management company to do that, and maintenance people. So, who's not getting the word out?
Yeah.
Things that have changed here, too. We can't use a sanitation area all the time like we used to. We used to be able to go in there from 9 to 4 every day, including Saturdays. Now, we get very limited hours to use the sanitation area. And the reason they give us in the beginning was they don't have enough manpower. Well, we had a guy that worked for us full time that just manned the sanitation area. He retired. They didn't replace him. So, of course, we don't have enough manpower.
Well, one of the things that people talk to me about, on that subject, Bill, is if you're not going to do it the way it used to be on those hours that you speak of, at least modify it to do similar hours. In other words, don't make it Monday morning at 9 and then Thursday afternoon at 5, and then, so on and so on and so on. If you're gonna make it, make it 3, 4 consistent days so people can use it.
Yeah, again, it goes back to what, I brought that up, and it goes back to we don't have enough manpower. Monday and Tuesday, they pick up trash in the community, and, Thursdays and Fridays, they do recycling, so the only days that are available is Wednesday morning and Friday afternoon, and Saturday morning. So, but it's just, where's the management company on all this? Why aren't they hiring people? It's in the budget.
They did, I think they hired people older than the people that live here.
Yeah.
That makes it hard. How about elections? Have you heard much about, in a positive thing, how's people?
Well, that's number 4 on this fellow's list that he emailed us, the voting ballots.
Yep. I get that one over here too. Are they legal? Are they correct? Are
they secure?
I've had somebody reach out to me recently and ask me, hey, you used to be on the board, can we get together and talk? I get some questions. So her and I are supposed to get together. Yeah.
And I have a number of suggestions I tried to bring up at the last board meeting, and the board told me that you don't have them on the agenda, you can't talk about them. But they had elections on under old business as a general category.
But it didn't apply.
So it didn't apply, they told me. You talk about, controlling things. And I love to go back to what they told us in February at their first board meeting after they got elected, and they told us, you're going to be fully transparent.
Yeah.
How much transparency do you see, Dan?
I don't.
Yeah, and the reason why we're talking about all this also, let me stop right here and say this, that I know there's a lot of people that live in other HOA communities. We'd love to hear if you've had the same situations and if you were able to solve it. If not, what are you attempting to do? We'd love that kind of feedback. Okay?
I think our board, particularly in our community, needs to be doing a better job. Consistently.
Yeah.
The way they treat other board members, the way they treat some of the people who ask questions. It's horrifying. It really is.
You ask a question to this board, what they do is they bully you right away, or they get extremely rude, but they don't answer the question. So we just had that happen again at the last board meeting. A nice fella got up at the end of the meeting when it's time to speak.
Yeah.
And he was asking a couple of questions that they didn't want to go near.
It was deplorable.
And
it really was.
One of the board members went after this guy rudely, and bullied him. So,
totally. And we wonder why the other board member that we had left sold her house, has criminal charges, the whole ball of wax.
Yeah.
It's a shame what they did to her. All she did was ask questions. She actually got together with our management, asked the right questions one day, and just a little get-together, sit together, and found a payment that we were making that nobody knew what it was for. A monthly payment. Come on. Ridiculous.
So, this fellow also sent out some suggestions. We need to either get rid of or replace, either way. I'd like to see us get rid of the management company and take it back to ourselves like it was.
That's the number one complaint I hear.
Yeah, I do too, all over.
Yeah.
And term limits for all board members. That's going to be a major problem, try to get that passed, because it's a bylaw, and you'd have to put a bylaw in place.
In regard to that, I hear term limits / how long you live here. Not full-time residents necessarily, but at least be available. And anyway, that's kind of like a 70%, 80% of the time.
Yeah. Well, this one he puts in here, board members must be United States citizens.
Yeah, true.
That's a hard one, though.
It's real hard.
There's a lot of different laws and things like that involved with that. So, but and maintenance fees should be put on a freeze hike for 2 years. And the reason they suggesting that is we're in the midst of renegotiation the price of the lease, not the lease, but in our lease every 15 years the leasee, put it that way, the company we lease the property from, have the opportunity to come back to us and restructure the pricing due to the fact that how much the land has valued, whether it's gone up or down. And of course, as we know about land continues to go up, So now they're talking maintenance fee raises again. They do it every year, and people are starting to scream. It's like, you need to do something else. So what do they talk about? They talk about, well, where can we raise more money? I don't want to hear about raising more money. I want to hear about doing cost cutting.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the biggest things we can do cost cutting is get rid of our management company. They're killing us. Yeah. They're draining us like crazy what they're charging us.
I've heard a lot of words in regard to our own company we have inside here
Yeah.
that actually manages everything, the property management, I've heard nothing but negativity.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know, of course, now all of a sudden you're starting to see projects getting done in the community.
Well, yeah.
But it's the end of the year, and these guys,
Right.
some of them want to run for re-election. Some of them are up, and their term is up, and they want to run for re-election, so they want to be able to use that and say, oh, well, look what we did, you know? It's not that they did it, it needed to be done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, there's no proactiveness that goes on here at all.
It's funny, some of the things that are simple for some folks, it might be, like Bill said, we have a community here that's actually split in two different areas, north and south.
Yeah.
And when one lady asked me, she wrote me and she says, why can't you actually tell us what it is you're regarding? You know, like in other words, you're gonna have a boil water notice, better explain it for sure, but also let it know, does it affect both sides of the park, the whole park? Or what? She was wondering, you know, can you label emails that are better so that they're better related to who it affects, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, lately, they haven't even been sending out emails when the water gets shut off. If
No.
the irrigation water
No.
goes down, you know?
Either one, yeah.
And, you know, right now they're trying to claim that the supplemental pump for the irrigation for the golf course is down. Well, how does that affect the rest of the irrigation in the area? You know?
What do you know about this new federal checkup thing if you run for the board?
Well, yeah, I think they're trying to use that to scare people from running for the board, but.
Well, I don't understand why you would want to announce that at a social hour like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah, they do, because they're trying to
kinda
use it as a
was
fear
weird,
tactic,
you know,
that's all.
if you're gonna run for the board, you'd find some information will be told to you from the management company. Hey, Bob, you need to do this. Hey, Bill, you need to do this. And, oh, by the way, don't forget that federal checkup you have to do.
Well,
you know?
one of the things that gets me with that, why they're making such a big deal out of it is, to move into this community, you have to go through a full background
Yeah,
check,
yeah.
right? You also get a credit check done.
Yeah,
You know, you sign for that you will allow that to happen. So, to run for the board,
You've already done most of it.
you've done pretty much all of it, you know?
I understand it's nothing more than your
You know?
personal information, like your name, your address, you know, that
Right.
kind of stuff. It's not like, hey,
They want you registered so
That's
they
all.
know where to find you.
Yeah.
And the reason this has come up, one of the reasons, there's many reasons why this legislation was passed. But there's been a lot of boards, a lot of directors on boards that have absconded with funds.
yeah, getting their hands in the pot.
Yeah,
or
and now they
looking
can't
at
find
books
them.
or something like that, you know. But right, and we read about that in different communities. Somebody mentioned to me, and I just read it. It's here in Florida. I don't remember the name of the park. Over 800 homes. Pack up your stuff. Get out. Here's $14,000. You got till January
Yeah,
1st.
that's happened to a couple of places,
And
yeah.
I just read it today, and I don't remember the date it was published, but. Yeah, I think, oh boy, that's good. 800 homes, and we have 1,100 here in this park, but that's a tough way to say goodbye. $1,400, or 14,000, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you wait longer, like to March, they'll only give you 7 for it.
Here's your assessed value of your home, that's it, you know.
And you know, I don't know what their status was as far as their land, if it was leased and what happened to the lease. I guess anybody can break a lease if they want to, right? If the money is right and you're willing to pay the lawyers, so you never know.
But what else do we got here on this? There's quite a list
Oh yeah, yeah.
compiled.
I wonder how that kind of thing would affect any Canadians. It shouldn't. I mean, just like you said, they have a background check anyway, so.
It'll be interesting, but I don't have a problem with it.
No.
I mean, to come in here, before I come in
No,
here, anyway,
no,
for the type of work I did, my clearances with the government were pretty high, so I don't have a problem with that, you know. They know all about me. They know where I live today, too. And so that doesn't bother me, so I gotta fill out another form, that's all. In fact, I got notified last week. You have to do it online, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no form to fill out, you have to do it online. So if anybody's, a director out there that's listening to me, just remember by December 31st, what do they call it, FINA, right? F-I-N-A.
Yeah.
You have to register with FINA, okay? Go to FINA.gov and you'll find the information.
Here's some good things that I hadn't talked about, or we had talked about last week when we sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Is some of the things that HOA.
Let me stop you right there. You got an audience out there, let's tell them what you're talking about. We did a whole podcast last week,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and I screwed it up, all right?
I didn't want to blame you.
I had brought another camera in to try and widen the picture some more, so we wouldn't be so nice and cozy. Anyway, We went to play it back before we posted it,
21 minutes.
and it was the Chipmunks,
Ah,
but they were,
welcome
even
you
the
to
Chipmunks,
my-
you totally you couldn't understand them.
It was
you know,
funny.
so we had scrapped
talked,
that one.
We had talked about all these things, and we said, geez, we're going to be able to capture the magic that we had last week for 21 minutes. And so we'll wing it. But, you know, some of the things that people ask about when it comes to HOAs is, like, in meetings, you know, do you have meetings that are optional, the times? You know, make it easier for people that might not be able to come. You definitely need a better communication and outreach available. Not everybody has email, folks, and not everybody wants to sit there and, you know, whatever. You need a better job of it. And target involvement opportunities for people. Make it convenient, have some incentive participation, address concerns directly, and tailor your communication to, I mean, right now, it's kind of like, how's your community? You have 10% older people, 60%, you know, the younger people are coming into communities, and we need that. Run for the board.
Let me see that, because there's a couple of these I'd love to talk about. The flexible meeting options.
Yeah, that's a big
Oh,
one.
our board has got very flexible meeting options when it comes to what they want, especially if they want to get something through that they don't want a lot of comments on. They'll hold a meeting at 9 a.m. in the morning. You know, I always ask them, why? Why are we doing that? Well, that's the only time we're available. I says, that's not true. We hold all board meetings at 1 p.m.
Integrity and fairness,
You
that's
know.
a good topic to
Yeah.
go with that one.
You know, communication and outreach. You know, we
Yeah.
talked about that with just the management company alone, not
Yeah.
getting, emails out to us about stuff that's actually going on here. You know, I get phone calls in the afternoon. Did you get notified that the south irrigation water is off, or the city water is off?
Yep.
No, I didn't hear anything about it. Let me find out. Call the office. Oh yeah, they had to turn it off this morning. They found a major leak. I said, you didn't tell anybody?
Yeah, my mother-in-law had her washing guy to do the house, ready to go.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, I never have that on.
Oh, is that your girlfriend?
No, no, some number I don't even recognize.
Oh yeah.
Flint, Michigan.
That's-
All you out in Michigan, sorry,
That's
I
how
missed a call, leave me a message.
It's our other buddy's cousin. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, possible spam.
I can't believe it's almost Thanksgiving. Hope you all have a nice day.
Yes,
Thanksgiving
yes,
before
definitely.
we forget that.
Yeah.
Because we'll be done in a little bit.
Well, I
here.
got my cup out. Did you see my cup?
Oh, no, it's
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is.
And that begins for me at Thanksgiving to be grateful for all I have.
Yeah.
Because if you had the youth I had, you'd be amazed that I'm still here.
I'm the same way. I'm lucky to
Yeah,
be here.
Yeah.
I'd be blessed every day.
But, yes, please, everyone have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. What else were we doing? Feedback channels and tailored communications to what's actually going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the thing that I had here that was interesting.
You got
You know, and I simply asked the question was, why won't HOA board members listen to other members? And that was a question I actually gave an artificial intelligent computer that I used. And some of the categories, I guess, you know, like legal or regulatory constraints, doubtful in this case, simply answer the question or tell them you'll try to get the question answered later. Personal agendas, that's a biggie to me. You know, if you go back and listen to some of the meetings that we've had over time, of course, you can only listen to a month at a time, but everybody has some sort of agenda of their own. Seems like it really does, you know? The lack of awareness, like you talked about. Let us know, you know? Geez,
Oh, yeah, I
you know?
actually, the chairman, the president of this board that we have, the last board meeting, I wanted to bring a few things up and try to get motions passed under a category, and he told me it's not on the agenda. I said, it is, you know? And he said, well, you need to talk to all of us first before you do that. I says, how? None of yous talk to me.
No,
I'm like set out all by myself, you know.
that kind of goes with the
They don't want to hear
integrity
it.
and fairness, you know?
Yeah, integrity and fairness, is right.
Yeah.
You know, I am here solely for the betterment of this community. I have no personal agendas. I don't have any vendettas, you know, but
That's
I want
all.
to see this community thrive.
That's
And I
all
gotta
it's
be
supposed
honest
to
with
be.
you, I've been on this board 2 years already, or just about 2 years, and all I've watched is this community go downhill.
It's been fun, hasn't it?
Well, they don't want to spend any money on simple things.
Yeah.
You know, taking care of the landscaping in the common areas. You know, but we'll get a violation if we got weeds in our front garden.
I wanted to, at the last meeting when the manager's report came out, I wanted to have a checkbox, but I didn't, and I should have, because it was kind of like this. we're working on this, but I haven't got any calls back. That's on the agenda, but they won't call me either. This one is, it was,
you hear a lot of that, yeah.
Everything was wait. For
Yeah.
what? Wait for what? Wait. I mean, you're obviously asking the wrong people. Oh, that's right. I do forget that our community company that manages here does have a limited pool of who they can go to, because if you actually reach out to some of the Pinellas County contractors, they don't like them.
Yeah, there's quite a few that'll tell you we ain't working there.
Yeah, because of limits and liabilities and things like that, and, policies, whatever,
Yeah.
I don't understand it myself, but, yeah.
And if they put a bid out, they only put it out to the people on their list.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Unless you
Yeah,
specifically ask for a copy of it and send it out to somebody else.
You're not gonna get it.
And all of a sudden there's delays and all of that, and you know. So, because I have a number of contractors, I was in the business 50 years. And, I have a number of contacts down here in Florida, and that I can, bring up and use. And they're all reputable companies. A few of them I did call, and they said, "Oh, no, that company, we ain't working
Yeah,
with them."
I actually had a guy come in last year and wanted to give us a quote
Yeah.
for our rec club.
Electrician,
and, yeah,
right?
Yeah, and he was like, who's the management company? I told him, he's like, sorry, nothing personal against you guys, but I won't bid on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And he told me why.
Mm.
Yeah, here's some really cool words when you think about aspects of an HOA support and how it should apply to your community. And you look at some of those words, proactive, communicate, company focused, helpful, all these different words that are available.
Dan, I don't think they're in the Hootersville dictionary.
Oh, that's right, this wasn't Hooterville, this was just Google. Sorry, Google, you lost.
You know what I'm saying?
Throw that one away.
No, bring it back. I mean, that's what I'm saying now,
Yeah.
These people here, they don't want to hear stuff like that.
No.
I never see any of them volunteer at anything. Think about that a minute.
Well, that's really not true. I mean, there are some that they do volunteer for very few selective items of their own. But yeah, I mean, as far as being, I've never seen any of them be very friendly towards everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see them walk right towards you and they'll turn their back.
Yeah.
Actually, we had a chairman do that last year right on our Zoom meeting. No, what? No, hang on a second. I don't want to answer your questions. Hold on, no.
Yeah.
And his committee actually was like, oh, wait a minute, we'd like to hear you, let's hear that feedback or question or answer, whatever it was. But and then he quit and came back. Quitting's okay, because I did that myself, but.
Yeah, But, hey, sometimes you just have enough, Dan.
Yeah,
I mean, just sometimes it's just too much.
Yeah. Oh, geez, we're up to 22 minutes already. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I guess we ought to start capping it then. Huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm sorry, we're so
The
happy.
reason why we do that, we don't want to go on forever and bore the heck out of everybody.
No, you'll be sitting there at home eating dinner or whatever, and you'll be,
The last thing I want to say is the elections are coming up.
run, vote,
Vote and run. If you have the capacity to be able to do it, run for your board to help change it.
It takes a village to be a community.
And
really need to be
like
effective.
I said, I don't have anything other than the community at heart. That's all I have. And they don't like that. They don't like the questions I ask. Because I keep asking things like, well, how about this? Well, we don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
And then they never answer it.
But if you want to run for the board, give us a call, email. I got one person I've already spoken with. I'm glad to answer questions for you.
Yeah. So we're going to release it. I'm going to actually release this on my public Facebook page, the link for this. Yeah.
I'll be
so it
number
can get out to more HOAs and
wait a
people in HOAs.
I'm in a witness protection program. You can't do that. No, I'm just kidding.
And so we can get more feedback.
Yep.
We love the feedback we're getting now, but we'd love a lot more, all right, to give us more material.
Send emails. I print them out and I give him a copy and me a copy. Your questions, your answers, your suggestions, I don't want to see your diary, but feel
So
free.
I think we'll do another one right after Thanksgiving, maybe next week, and we'll talk about turkey, huh?
Yep. Happy birthday.
Yeah, so you all take care of yourselves. Be safe out there, all right? We'll talk to you soon.
See you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.